Hey guys, so for today's video, I actually had planned that I would eat the spicy ramen noodles and answer some of the questions that I actually put up on my stories. So it would be like a fun Q&A sort of a video, but it would be a mixture between that and mukbang. But sadly, my stomach cannot take it anymore, and I can't really just eat those spicy noodles because I have done that to myself for more than 10-15 times, and I know how spicy it is, and I know that it will mess up my stomach, and I know that right now my stomach cannot take it. So I decided that I'm instead going to go ahead with just a Q&A video. And before that, I have to change and look better because I know I'm gonna hate myself if I make the video like this. So yeah, I'll be back. Just a side note that every trip that we take north side, we try to find pine cones for me, because over here in Mumbai, wherever you find pine cones, I'm sorry, I'm scratching my arm and it's just shaking, y'all. So every time we go up north, I make everybody find pine cones. This is what I did last year, and we found it was the most enchanted thing ever. It was like a white snowy woods, and like a forest. And we've literally made our drivers stop in the middle of the road, go into this enchanted woods, and oh my god, it was so pretty. I'm gonna try to find a video of it and put it in here so you can get a little idea of it. And we literally picked pine cones up from the snow itself, and then I came back to Mumbai, and then I saw a video on how to clean pine cones, because obviously dogs pee on it and maybe there are bugs, there are a lot of things. So basically you put vinegar in a bucket full of water, and then you put all your pine cones in it, and then you just put a plate or anything heavy that would make them submerge in the water, because they'll start coming up because they float, because they essentially would. And so you do that, then you let them dry again, and then you have to bake them. So I've been doing that again because my parents were out of town, so they were actually up north. They got me of pine cones, and I was so happy because this year I actually thought that I want to put them inside my trees. So I'm currently baking them right now. I just did my first batch, and I've put my second batch in the microwave right now. I don't have an oven, and you can essentially microwave them for more than, I think, I usually do it for like 350 minutes twice, so the microwave gets a little time to cool down in the middle, and it comes out perfect. And now I'm thinking I'm gonna give them a little frosty look by maybe putting like fake snow or like white spray paint or something. I don't know, not yet decided, but yeah. But look how gorgeous they look. So these are the baked ones, and as you can see, they've opened up. So you actually put them in the water or any cold surface, it's gonna start closing up. Once they are in heat or sun, they open up. But instead of waiting for the sun to heat it up, you can just microwave it or bake it if any of y'all want to do, because over here in Mumbai you do get them, but they cost you a lot for just this, and it's literally free in the woods outright. So it just does not make sense. And I have like so many of them, and this time actually my sister got a little different ones for me as well. These pretty little things. So these are like the little ones. They're very small and tiny, but this, oh my god, I can't wait. This is still not yet dried up properly. It's still a little moist from the inside. As you can see, it's pretty closed up. Make sure to put a clip of it after I bake it and it opens up. These are different kinds of pine cones than this is. I don't know what the names are, but this almost looks like a flower, almost how this looks, but in a bigger version. and they are gorgeous. I have more of these that I've actually already put up in my microwave, so that's the second batch of it. So yeah, just a random side note things going on in my life right now. I'm baking pine cones. I don't know why I just took this turn into pine cones suddenly. I mean, I was just gonna put on some makeup and look pretty and answer Q&A questions, but yeah. I'm back, did my makeup, did my hair. I'm recently obsessed with this because I made the mistake of cutting my bangs, and actually I wouldn't really call it a mistake because I wanted it since I was a kid. Like, I really wanted bangs, and I don't know, I think I even had some, but I don't think I ever had like really short ones. And I think I got them done last year and July, August probably, and I let them grow, and then I got them retouched again because I had to go for a trip and I wanted them to look fresher. Then I got them retouched again during I think December. I think it was closer to New Year because I wanted to look good for the New Year. And you have wavy hair and you do bangs, here it looks okay, it looks good, but when it starts growing it'll flick like a chicken, and that's what's happening to my hair right now, and I cannot wear it open, so I have to have this thing done or some sort of a thing going on, or else I'm just gonna look like a total mess. And I know even in this I kind of look like a child, but I kind of like it, I look cute. So I just went for a nice breezy look, and let's go get my coffee and then we can start on with the video. Welcome to my bed. Get on to the first question. I've actually put extra efforts into this video because I've written all the questions down that I had asked everybody on social media. I think it was 2 weeks ago again. Because I'm filming from my phone, I had to actually write it all down. So I'll be looking in my book because that's where the questions are. And yeah, so let's go. I don't know how many questions I'm going to be answering, but let's start on with the video. So the first question is, if you could change one thing that happened, what would it be? Like, maybe in my past something that I'm regretting, is that what it means? If that is what it means, then I have a very funny story about this one because it keeps haunting me every single time. Like, every other places where I've messed up or up has been like, still, you learn something from your mistakes or whatever. I try not to be guilty about anything because I don't think I am, but that one situation where I've just felt such like embarrassment for myself because of the way how I presented myself, or how I think the person who was involved in this story judged me and thought that I was just the mind-numbingly dumb girl. So that's just even more hilarious. So here it goes. So it was my friend's birthday, and we had gone to a club, and I think we were underage at that point of time. Legal, going to clubs age over here is 21 or 25, and in some clubs. So obviously I have used a lot of fake IDs. Everybody has. Don't even try to deny it that you haven't. Everybody has. So for me, because suppose there's my sister-in-law, one person whose ID I use, and there's also one of my neighbor, her ID that I use. Now, my neighbor's birth year is actually 1997, and my sister-in-law's is 1994. Now, because I have these two, because in case if I'm going out with her, I have, this other ID that I can use, because then the names would be different and everything else. And then hers, if I'm going out with her, then I can probably use the other one. Now the funny part is, I actually think I used the neighbors, which is 1997 ID, and he's like, okay fine, you're 21 now. But then I suck at math, but I'm not this bad at math, okay? So we're down there, and that's where they check your IDs, and then they give you a strap, and then you can go up to the club and everything. So we're down there on the counter, and he's asking us, I think I gave my ID, And he asked me, okay, so you're, how old are you? I'm like, he would figure it out with the years, but he asked me. So I said I didn't remember exactly because I was confused between these two dates, whether it's 1994 or 1997 year. And then I just went on to say I'm 24. But I had shown the ID of 1997, which is the neighbor's ID, which let's call her Jennifer, and let's call the sister in law Lauren. Okay, so I had used Jennifer's ID, which was 1997, and I was thinking that I had used Lauren's ID, which is 1994. And I don't remember, I think this was 2020, maybe, no, I think this was 2019. So I was 19 then. And I'm like, I'm 24. Then he's like, but the birth here over here, but it says this. I'm like, yeah, 1995, right? And then because the only calculation that I remembered was my brother's, who's born 1995. Because I remember his calculation, it's easy like mine. Like it's 5 years, we're 5 years apart. So it's very easy for me to calculate ages that go, like, for example, 1997. So I'll be like, he's 2 more years older than my brother. So that's how I would use to calculate. But I had completely forgotten which one that I've used. So basically, what had happened was I had used 1997's ID and I was claiming that I'm 24 years old, which was 1994's ID age. But I said to him that I'm 1995 born, and everybody around me was just confused till death. And I'm just looking there, like, trying to figure out, my friends are trying to figure out what did I just say and what age am I, and they're just trying to calculating. It's just, everything is just mess. And I felt so embarrassed. He let us go in the end because he was like, okay, just go, whatever. And he let us go, but I am still so, till this day, embarrassed about it because I'm not this bad at math. It was just that I had 3 different years confused, and I was really, because he asked me my age, and I'm like, okay, if 1995 is like 5 years older than me, then what is 1994? But I actually said 1995, right? And then I just remembered, oh god, I just hate everything about this. And if I could change something that had happened, I would definitely change this. I would make sure that I would remember what ID I was using. And from that day forward, I just came home. I remember next day, I just switched my ID. Like, I was like, I'm just not gonna use this. I'm just gonna change the year and keep my birthday, keep my name, and just switch out the year and not the whole. Because what I would do is I would just switch out the photo from the 2 different IDs rather than, switching out the year, which would be much more convenient because I wouldn't have to remember their birthdays and the years and everything like that. I could give myself 1995 and my own birthday and my own name, so I wouldn't even there, like, say the other person's name and say the other person's year. So yeah, that day forward I realized to not do that, and I made sure that I changed the year on my own card. So yeah, that is one thing for sure I would love to change. Would you like to be famous? Obviously, there's no question in that. Have you ever been in the snow? I have. And I remember I wanted to be in the snow so much that I took a solo trip when I was 17, and I went to a trek to Manali, and that was my first experience with snow, and it was a trek. So I hated snow after that because every step that we would take, like the one step we would take, we'd be in knee deep in snow, and we would not know if there's land underneath, or there's pile of snow that is knee depth in. So yeah. Do you like roller coasters? I have always loved roller coasters. I've always loved amusement parks and anything adventurous like that. I'm not scared of heights. So it brings me joy to be that up in the sky, or it makes me feel free. So I think I really love it. I know that's exactly the reasons why people hate it, but for me, it's exactly the reasons why I love it. I feel like I'm floating and I love it. Last film that you watched? I think it was. Oh god, oh my god, I can't say. Oh shit, I don't want to say this. I thought it was Do or Die, which was on Netflix, which is a very stupid movie. Do not watch it. It's waste of your time. But I don't almost don't want to say this. So we were all at my place, like my siblings and I, and Netflix was recommending this one picture, which was called Krishna Cottage, and it's a very old movie. Um, and I think we were just sitting there, and we remembered that my sister used to love this movie. She watched it for more than like 20 times, and we decided to watch it, and it was very cringy and very funny. So yeah, I unfortunately the last movie that I watched, because I had to disclose that to the world now that I watched Krishna Cottage. Yeah. Have you ever cried in a film? I have not. Oh wait, I don't know. I have, I think. Obviously, I think I've cried once or twice, but I don't remember when. I think it had to be very early on, like when I was really young, because I don't remember when. But I think for sure I've cried once or twice. No Friends or Toxic Friends. I think No Friends for sure, because as much as I love a good gossip, I don't want to be in the circle. I don't want to be the gossip. Actually, I wouldn't mind being the gossip too. Like, for example, I find these toxic people, when they fight or whatever they argue, whatever that is, it's just so stupid that I just cannot deal with people like that. Like, I just don't understand how are they that way, and I can't deal with them. Like, I'll literally flip out. So I don't think I can handle that much dumbness. So I just, no friends at all. I am absolutely happy with no friends rather than being with toxic friends. So yeah. Do you get along with your siblings? Unfortunately, yes. Touch wood. Like us five get along really well, and like for us, it's not a big deal. We don't get when people say that we love your group's connection and how well you just chill with each other. We don't get it because it's just so natural for us. But I think I understand where those people are coming from, because I have a lot of friends who don't get along with their siblings, and which is fine, like to each their own. But if we five were not siblings, I think we would still get along with each other, because as five, as different personalities, just get along with each other. Like, I find us really like loving and just chilled out people, and we all have the same like foundation. So I think there's nothing to not get along at. So yeah, we do. Describe your siblings in 3 words or less. Oh my god. Loving, caring, and sometimes very devilish. And by that I mean, when my sister was really young, she flung me across the room towards a wall. Like, I was really young as well, like I was a newborn baby or something, and she was like swinging me like on the swing, and then she flung me across the room towards a wall. Yeah, and then she also burnt me with an iron, because all those things were just done out of pure love, though. Born in June, so it's a very rainy monsoon season in Mumbai. So I think I had gotten a cold or something. So my mom was actually ironing clothes, and with that she was ironing a small napkin sort of a thing, and she was keeping it on my chest. So my young sister is sitting right besides, and she's noticing this, and in her head this thing is going where she's thinking, why is my mom doing the long route? Let me just do the smart work. I mean, she could literally just do it in 2 seconds if she would minus the napkin thing, which acted as a barrier from my skin to the iron blade. But for her, it was the young self, which was like, let's take the shortcut. Why is my mom, doing this extra work? So someone on the door comes, and my mom goes to see who's on the door. And meanwhile, my sister is like, let me ease my mom's work. She goes, she grabs the iron, she puts it on my stomach, and as soon as she does that, I scream. I'm like a baby here, so I scream, and my mom hears me crying. She runs inside, and as soon as I screamed, my sister like lifted it back up, and I still have the scar though on my lower stomach. It is just a line like that, so it wasn't like too far deep in, like she didn't actually like slam it. She kept it like she was just about to keep it, and that's when I screamed because maybe I felt the heat of it and the edge of it touched my skin, and I screamed. And my mom ran inside and she's like, why, what happened? And she sees my sister with an iron in her hand and my belly red, and then my sister got her whooped. And yeah, that is one story. That's why I say devilish. Do you have tattoos? I do. I have 6 tattoos, and I've always been that child. I got my first tattoo when I was 16, and like I couldn't wait to get a tattoo. And I think I've loved tattoos since I was a really young kid, and I would make drawings in my book, picturing tattoos, like maybe I'll get this thing, maybe I'll get this thing. I remember I wanted that Harry Potter's serpent mark all the Death Eaters got on their wrist, like over here. And I wanted to get that. I remember I drew that up, and I'm like, thank God I didn't make that decision. So when you're 16, you're not legally allowed to get a tattoo unchaperoned. So I had my sister come with me, and she chaperoned me, and family member had to do it. So yeah, she was there with me. So I got that done. So yeah, I have 6 tattoos right now, and I got my first tattoo when I was 16. And yes, yeah, that's how much I couldn't wait to get tattoo. As soon as I got out of school, I'm like, I'm gonna get a tattoo, I'm gonna color my hair, I'm gonna do all sorts of things. And I think as a child I wanted to do so much. Like I wanted to just get out, get like long nails, because we weren't allowed to have that. We weren't allowed to have like a funky hairstyles, just whatever, just ridiculous school norms. And I wanted to do that, and I think I had 1 year where I colored my hair and I did everything, and I got bored, and I'm like, I'm coming back to the basics. I literally have like such tiny nails. I remember when I was in school, I was known as the person who would always have like long nails and nail art done on the nails. I remember I would do that every single day. I was so much into it. And yeah, and now I get bored to even paint my own like fingernails. So yeah, that's something. That's how it changed. Like there was a phase where I couldn't wait to do stuff. Then I actually got to do stuff, and I'm like, I'm not interested. London or Paris? Literally cannot make this decision because when I was really young, like Harry Potter has like 95 majority of it had like influence on my childhood, and I just love rains and cold gloomy weather. I know it was so weird. Then I got older, and then with all the American stuff that we watched, I idealized like just having that lifestyle of having the Rockefeller Center and everything. But Paris is something that I'm really into right now, and like I don't plan on living, but I think that's just the cooking and the fashion and the buildings and infrastructure there. Also with the British and London part of it, also the cooking and the fashion and the infrastructure there. I cannot pick because no, I cannot. I die if I see anything from the Elizabethan or Victorian era. So that's one of the reasons I love Bridgerton. And there's another show on Netflix called Emma and Pride and Prejudice, all these shows which have these like old Victorian Elizabethan era sort of whole set and everything. Like literally when I'm watching those series, I'm half of the time I'm just looking at the doorknobs or the wine glasses or the chandelier or the wallpaper behind that thing. It's just random details because I just am so much into the whole like interior and the infrastructure and the wine glasses or all these things, like the pocket watches and all that stuff. So I could not pick between Paris or London. So yeah. Have you ever cheated on an exam? Always. I'll tell you this. I never believed on anybody else's answer until and unless that person got like 90% easy every year. Definitely, like, I didn't just copy pasted everything what people said, because I tried to remember if that is actually in fact the correct answer or not, or try to make sense of the answer that I just got. But yeah, I mean, I did cheat, but not necessarily used those answers. Like, I was the one who would throw the pen caps on people's head to call them, or exchange erasers in the form, like writing something on an eraser and then exchanging eraser, writing on the question paper and then exchanging question papers. I would do that all the time, but I would not necessarily use the answers I would get, because I'm like, no, this is not the answer. Yeah, and my papers, like, if even though I get like the average marks, I was never bad, I was always average, but I would write so much in my paper, so much. Like, I would, when I start writing in my exams, my paper's like filled, like you can only see words in it. And yeah, so people were like, you say you don't know anything, but then you keep writing in your exams. And it still happened, like even in my college, I would literally fill my answer sheets until you can't like write anymore. So yeah. Definitely cheated on. Would you consider yourself as a romantic person? I think I am a hopeless romantic. When I was younger, I didn't think that much about this. Like, I didn't think that I would be someone who would be really romantic or anything. I think I was very tin-hearted, tin-chested. I remember my friend would try to make me watch The Notebook, and I tried to watch The Notebook twice with her, but literally just the starting of it, which is the army era, like war era, I don't remember how much, but it's that starting patch where they go into a carnival and something like that. I would literally make her stop over there only, and I can't watch this, I cannot watch this. And after, I think 3-4 years later, I actually made myself watch the Notebook. And yeah, I think I am a hopeless romantic, but I didn't think I would be one when I was really young. But yes, I am. Who do you usually blame your farts on? It has to be my brother, because he farts a lot, so it's easier to like make people believe that it was him. And definitely, I blame my farts on my brother, for sure. Sexiest animal? That's a very weird question, and I feel really weird answering that. But I would have to say a black panther or a black wolf. I mean, I love tigers, but tigers and lions are, cute and hunky and everything, but I don't think they are sexy. I feel for being sexy, you have to have that, Black Panther vibe, or maybe Black Wolf vibe. So definitely one of those two. Your favorite meme? Oh my god, I have so many. It's to be the protein powder one.
Thing you're gonna want to do is put in a scoop of protein. Then you're gonna want to add about a cup of almond milk to the mix. Then you're gonna add some protein, and then I usually throw in a whole banana. Then we're gonna add some protein. Now what I like to do, just for a little bit of taste, is add some protein. Then I usually add 1/2 a protein. Now, of course, it wouldn't really be a shake without some ice cubes. So we're gonna add some protein, take some ice cubes, dip them in protein, throw them in the mix, then add some protein, and then, and only then, can you add some protein and blend. Now, while you guys weren't looking, I actually went back and added some protein.
Oh my god, that just cracks me up every time for some reason. I don't know why, but it just cracks me up. It makes me laugh and crack up every time I think about it. So yeah, definitely that one. Are you a type A personality? See, I think that I'm not, but people around me say that I am. I do like to have control over things. Maybe I am, but I'm not the worst one out of those categories. But I do believe that if I want something done right, I have to do it myself. So maybe. When's your birthday? 22nd June. Do you have a big family? Yes, I have a very big family. We are 5 siblings and one dog, and my parents, obviously, and then the partners of those 5 siblings. So, definitely. Tell us one drunken story with you and your friends. So, I don't have one of those, but one story that I'm reminded is when I hear this statement is we were out for one of my friend's birthday party, and it was in a mall. Like the club that we went to was actually in a mall. You know, there are certain clubs that are opened in a mall facility, like. So we went there, and when we got out, the mall was shut, and like there was literally no one there unless you're going for a movie. So we are walking by, and you know, we're done. We had some fun. We're dancing and everything. We enjoyed really well. We're coming out of that club, and we're walking. And my brother sees this Baskin and Robin, what do you call, like trolley or stall sort of a thing. What Baskin and Robbins and these other ice cream places do is, you know, when you ask for the option of whether you want a cone or a cup, like usually there are like 2-3 variants of the cones, and to showcase them they put those cones like right there, like just to showcase it. My brother decided to just pick one up like, right there and there, and he bit a part of it because there was a chocolate cone or something with sprinkles on it. It was literally out there for a showcase purposes, and literally there was nobody there, and he decided to pick that cone up and he just bit off a part of it, and it was so soggy and it was so pathetic, and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna get kicked out if anybody sees us. But it was just so funny. We're just walking, and he just takes this cone up and he just takes a bite of it, and the cone is so soggy from being outside all day, and oh my god, that is so disgusting to bite onto something like that. And yeah, and then the whole time we were coming down, we came down from the other side of the escalator because we just wanted extra fun. We were like, and there are people who are walking up to the movies, you know, there are late night shows for movies, and they're just judging us. They're giving us all these anti-judgmental looks, like, what are these kids doing? Why are they finding this funny? And we're not that immature literally any time, but that time it's just fun. We were just having fun, and that's just one story. Like, it happened recently, so I could remember. But yeah, so that was it. Those are all the questions that I'm going to be answering today, and I hope you all got to know me a little more better. And thank you so much for watching this video, and if you like this video, then like it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye. For now.